Hello and welcome back to the What is K-pop podcast, in which I usually talk about groups, members, discographies, choreographies, outfits, flows, shows, concept, and weird things that I generally want to talk about in regards to K-pop to one day answer the question, what is K-pop? That is usually what I do about. However, I felt it was important to talk about today's topic. Due to the relevancy actually of it, basically. So, as you can see by the title, it's about idol smoking, and this comes in light of a recent album released by Kim Namjoon of BTS RM. Him basically saying that stop telling me what I can and cannot do. This is my life. I can smoke if I want to. And I felt that it was important to at least talk about it and kind of come to some sort of understanding. If you are listening to this, which I mean, really? You're listening to me? Out of anything you could be listening to, you're choosing to listen to me. Wow. You clearly have no self-respect. Who on earth would listen to me? And if I'm dunking myself, for me. But if you do like my music, not my music, if you do like my podcast, please feel free to follow me, like, comment, whatever it is that you do on here. I'm on YouTube now, just What is K-pop again, and on Twitter. You can follow me at What is K-pop 2024, and I have a personal Twitter, SKZ or DK Ideas? Skids? SKZ or Skids. I can't remember what my username is. I also have a TikTok, which is What is K-pop, and my personal one is Black Cats 2003, where you can actually see my face for the first time. I post a lot of cringy videos of me just talking to the camera, acknowledging the fact that I am cringe. I often do that. But yeah, if you want to follow me on there, feel free. If you don't, fair enough. Sometimes my voice irritates me too, and I have to live with it. So yeah, that's also like a massive thing that I always acknowledge is that I've heard my own voice, and it is quite high pitched, kind of, and it sounds incredibly English. Like in my own head, it's kind of deeper and slightly less British, but I've heard myself, and because often I have to listen to my own voice when I'm going back and seeing if there's anything that I need to take out. Like I'll often be listening to my own voice just to hear it, and I'm like, oh god. But I mean, there's nothing really I can do about it. Sorry. I mean, I would try and do something about it, but I don't really want to. And I feel like it isn't my problem. My voice is a voice, and it's something that just is a thing. And now we have Petal joining us, which is my youngest cat. RM released the album Right Place, Wrong Person on the 24th of May 2024. And if you're listening to this on the day of upload, that was 2 days ago. It was on Friday the 24th. And a lot of the he swears a lot on this album. And it's in due part, personal preference. He swears sometimes on the songs, but it also is as a way to kind of speak on a smoking controversy, and which is the bulk of today's episode. And I feel like, okay, so smoking for me personally is something that I don't condone, I don't support, and I don't recommend to people. Because smoking for me has always been something that my parents have told me and my sister to never do, because it only creates more problems. And that's because both me and my sister have chronic illnesses. I have asthma and my sister has some other issue, I don't know, I've never asked. But we both have had issues in which if we were to start smoking, it would only exacerbate them. And that wouldn't be good, which is why when I do see smokers and I do find out that people are smokers, it doesn't aggravate me. It just upsets me of that, like, well, why are you doing that to yourself? Like, why are you putting all those toxins in your body? And since becoming an adult, I've learned that smoking is a stress reliever for a lot of people, and it's something that they do to relieve pressure in their life. You know, it's like one of those things that you do, and like you don't talk about it, but like that's just your thing, right? I choose to colour, or I choose to bake, or I stroke my two cats, or you know, I talk to my sister or my parents. But some people choose to light a cigarette and, you know, smoke, and you know, that's their choice, and I'm sure that everyone who is a smoker is aware of the side effects, but it's an addictive substance, right? It's something that, like, it is very hard to stop doing when you're in it, and I don't think that anyone does it with the intention of getting addicted, and especially K-pop idols, because it can really affect your voice. I think they only do it as a stress reliever, and it's like, I understand why you're doing it, because I understand how stress can really affect you, and like, you know, there's like medications you can go on for stress. There's antidepressants and like SSRIs, which is serotonin, like serotonin re in wait SSRIs. Or is it SSRIs? Serotonin reuptake inhibitors, isn't it? No. What is it? Antidepressants. Yes, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. Okay, so antidepressants are like the thing, and review antidepressants on the NHS official website. Antidepressants are a type of medicine used to treat clinical depression as well as anxiety. They can be used to treat a number of other conditions, including obsessive compulsive disorder, which I also have, general anxiety disorder, which I have obviously, and post-traumatic stress disorder, which I do not have, which is basic in its basic form, just generalizing, not saying that this is everyone's experience. It's often thought of as a condition that people who are in warfare tend to get, because of the amount of atrocities and trauma they witness on a daily basis. They end up developing PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And people with intensive like medical trauma, they can develop PTSD, which you know, something in their everyday life can trigger a memory within their brain to make them think that they are back in that situation again, and it can be very, very debilitating. I have trauma, yes, but I don't have post-traumatic stress disorder. I have trauma with hospitals and stuff like that. You know, antidepressants can be used to treat PTSD. Different therapies can also be used to treat these conditions. It's just that antidepressants are something that people do tend to go with. Personally, for me, talking therapies have never really worked. Medications do work to some extent. I choose to not fully have my anxiety be treated because of how long I've dealt with it. It almost feels intertwined with me at this point that I deal with those medical conditions. Antidepressants are something that people can use for stress. Idlehood is very stressful. You see, like Renjun from NCT Dream. He's a brilliant example. Actually, he's the most relevant example in at least my idol knowledge, who has gone on hiatus due to his mental health, and it could have been for a different myriad of different things, but most recently he was involved in some drama concerning his weight, and how much weight he had put on before Dreamscape, the latest EP, and he ended up going on hiatus due to his mental health. What possibly could be going on is that he is on antidepressants and they could be working to relieve his stress, or he could be getting therapy, or potentially he might start smoking, and smoking is kind of like an antidepressant. It kind of suppresses some feelings of anxiety, but then it also, because it's an addictive substance, it then makes it so that the body craves it, and so you get more anxious, so then you smoke more, then you get more anxious. It's like every single day you take, like one day you might have only one cigarette to feel calm, but then the next day you have two, and then 3, 4, 5, until you're smoking like 50 a day because you can't feel calm without having that substance in you. And it's like, I do get it. I understand why you might choose to smoke, because it has that nice effect on you. Smoking, you would think to yourself that I would get all of the stuff that I want to talk about up before I start anything. It's like, no, of course not. Why would I do that? Health effects of smoking on your body. Can I find it? Yeah, so essentially it helps, but it also hinders. It's kind of like the thing of like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. It's like you are still making progress, but you're also like taking 2 steps back. Why can't I find what I'm trying to look for? Right. Can smoking relieve stress? Okay. mentalhealthfoundation.org.uk. Nicotine creates an immediate sense of relaxation, so people smoke in the belief that it reduces stress and anxiety. This feeling is temporary and soon gives way to withdrawal symptoms and increased cravings. Smoking reduces withdrawal symptoms but does not reduce anxiety or deal with the reasons someone might feel that way. So, yeah, honestly, if someone came to me and was like, Sophie, I want to start smoking because I want to relieve stress, I would be like, well, you're asking the wrong person here. Like, I am probably the world's worst advocate for smoking, because I'm going to tell you straight off that if you do that, you can't be near me, because I could very well get ill from secondhand smoke, or this feels ridiculous, like I could get seriously ill from being around smoke. And also addictive personality. Woo, I love that for me. So like all in general, I don't think that Namjoon necessarily went about it the right way, and being like, excuse my French, being like, fuck you can't fucking tell me what to do, you little you fans, you can't tell me shit. Like, no, fuck you. Like, it's not like we're doing it maliciously, we just don't want you to die. Like, that's the thing, is that like we don't want you to die from smoking, because that is like a really horrible way to go. Anyway, any way in which people die is a horrible way to go. And the fact is that if you start smoking, the high likelihood is that you are going to die from a side effect of smoking. And it can be said that like, oh, he's a grown adult, he can do what he likes. And it's like, yeah, he is a grown adult and he can do whatever he likes. But G-Dragon, he's like 36 years old. He's a smoker. He's been trying to quit for ages. But he actively says, I'm sorry, I'm still doing it. He doesn't go around being like, fuck you can't tell me what to do. At least he's nice about it. I'm sorry, but like, it's the attitude that he has, in that sense of being like, I'm Kim Namjoon from BTS. I can do whatever I like. And I'm like, yeah, you're Kim Namjoon from BTS. You are a member of BTS, the biggest boy band in the world. You have found millions upon millions of fans. Do you honest to God think that this is the right thing to be doing? I'm just like, if you're gonna do it, don't post about it online. Because he also posted a picture of himself smoking. It's like, feel free to do that, like, in your own time. Don't post about it. I'm like, the amount of stuff that I've done whilst like not being online, it's like a laundry list of things that probably I wouldn't go on here and condone, alright? I wouldn't condone half the stuff that I've done in the past. But the thing is that I'm owning up to it if you want to know. But I'm not going to tell you actively if I don't want you to find out about it. Namjoon is basically just being like, hey, I smoke. And then people are going like, what? You shouldn't be smoking. It's bad for you. And then he's going, well, fuck you. I can do whatever I like. I'm Namjoon from BTS. Like, yeah, you're Namjoon from BTS. The fact of the matter is that you are a role model. You should not be promoting something that is dangerous. Also, like my saying is the fact of the matter. I found that out recently. Also, from this podcast, it's like how my dad always like says, well, the point is, or like things like that. We all say little things, and I say the point is, or the fact of the matter is, or yeah, just like weird things like that. It's so funny how much we just do it in our everyday. Well, my sister says, okay, so folks. Like she says folks a lot. It's really odd because my mum doesn't really have many things that she says other than like in the morning she'll like say this one sentence over and over again when she's about to put on the daytime, not even like talk show, but like news show thingy called BBC Breakfast, which is on every morning on BBC One. She'll like put that on and she's like, oh, let's see what's going on in the world, or like something to that effect. And like it's so funny how we all have little things that we say and stuff. Or like she'll make up little ditties, which are like little songs. It was more when me and my sister were kids actually, of like making up what she calls little ditties. Yeah, it's very sweet, my childhood, now that I'm thinking about it. Just thought about my childhood again. Good times. But sadly I'm now just talking in my parents' living room about smoking. Gotta love it. Yeah, so to wrap up the lovely little rant that I've just decided to go on just randomly for funsies, don't smoke. It's not good for you. I get it. It's a stress reliever, but you can actively say that it's not an addiction and that you're fine and that you're gonna stop. You don't know that. And the people who are trying to tell you to stop doing something, they're probably trying to help you. And, we're not doing it for malicious intent. We just don't want to see you hurting yourself because of smoking. Something that, is a choice at the end of the day. And if you are doing it for a stress relief, please do something that's a bit less dangerous, okay? Even if it involves you going to the doctors and taking time off, we'll still be here for you. And I can tell you this for free. Going to the doctor and getting medical help if you need it is going to be extremely less, absolutely less expensive than having to pay for medical stuff in the future because you chose to continue smoking. We're only doing it to be nice, and you shouldn't be annoyed at us because we're only trying to help you. And also, just as a quick side note thing on the fan thing, and this is going to sound really bad, okay? So do not get annoyed. You would not be Namjoon from BTS, and as famous and as popular as you are, if it weren't for us fans. Okay. Because the Kardashians would not be as famous if they didn't have as many fans as they do. They wouldn't have all the money and all the riches and everything that they have if it weren't for the people watching the show that did watch the show. Okay? Just have a slice of a bit of humble pie and take it with you, Namjoon, okay? Yeah. I love how I'm going up against Army. I love that for me. Yeah, TLDR, quick TLDR, don't smoke. And Namjoon, please don't be offended by us caring for you. We only have your best interests at heart. And that is all I have to say on the topic, actually. Yeah. Don't smoke, that's the only thing I can really say on the topic. That isn't me getting into a whole different another rant. If you want to follow me more, you want to hear more about me, my life, and the stuff that I get up to, carry on listening to the podcast. I do tend to give little anecdotes about my life in between different topics. I'm often referencing things that I'm doing or I've done or I'm about to do in my episodes at like the start. For example, in less than a month's time I go on holiday, so I'll be talking a bit about that in the next few episodes, and after I'll probably say about the first week in July, there will be stories about what happened on that holiday. So if you want to learn about that, feel free to stick around for that. For just general updates, I don't actually really do social media that much anymore in like real-time updates. However, if you want to see kind of more strange like reposts of funny things that I find on Twitter, I'm on there with What is K-pop 2024, which is the official account for this podcast, as well as I really should know my username, shouldn't I? SKZ or S. I should just gonna pull up the account name, shouldn't I? It's my actual name. Maybe I should change that actually, because that's my official proper big girl name. Oh my gosh, how do you change like the handle on Twitter? This is not good. Well, it's not good. It's just kind of a bit awkward because it's my actual full name. But the name, you can change it. Yay. Yeah, let's go for that. So my username now is SKZ or SKIZ, skids or skids. And my official Twitter for this podcast is What is K-pop 2024, capital W-I and K, which is just the same as on here. My TikTok is for the podcast is What is K-pop. My official one is Black Cats 2003. Both most recent posts are about this podcast. An Instagram page will probably be created at some stage. If you want to read my fan fiction, which I don't know why on earth you would want to do that to yourself, I am on Tumblr at Kim Mingyu is King, and I am no longer technically on AO3. However, I will be hopefully in August. Yeah. So that's just me plugging everything that I can plug, because this is my podcast. I can do what I want. So yeah, if you take away anything from this podcast episode, I hope that you don't choose the smart smoking. Okay, so I'm gonna go and watch Lovely Runner, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Bye.